In order to service our thread cutter, it is important to first remove the needle plate. The needle plate covers a small portion of the thread cutter unit. There are two screws that hold the needle plate. Start to loosen them and remove them both. You can remove the slide plate in order to help you better remove the needle plate. Sometimes it is tight, so you can stick a little screwdriver there and give a little pop-up on the needle plate to make it easier. Also remove the bobbin case. Now, gently lay the machine on its back and locate a small screw underneath, which is towards the left edge of the free arm. Loosen the screw and this will allow you to remove the cutter cover. And you can stand the machine back upright. Now, in order to get a better look at our cutter unit, remove the two screws that hold it into the machine. It is a good idea to take the cutter unit out because if it is dirty, we can clean it a lot better with it in our hand. Not only that, but we can actually feel how the cutter works by extending it ourselves. If it is jamming, then it needs to be adjusted, and the only way we can tell that is if we're actually holding it in our hand. Look at the lever post on the back and the stationary post, which holds it into the machine and seats it properly. Remember how it goes so you can put the cutter back in correctly. Now once you have it in your hand, take your finger from behind and move the lever to extend the knife in and out. You can see that there are two pieces that are extending outward. Always take a towel with either a little tiny bit of cleaner on it or alcohol and try to clean up the pathway the best you can. If there is any kind of sticky stuff, lint, or whatever that could be there, that could cause the extending knives to jam. If it is not cutting properly, look at it as it extends outward. As it goes back in, it makes contact with the stationary blades, which is on the very tip of the machine held in by a small screw. As it goes in, it slices up against the knives. If you need to make an adjustment, such as it's not cutting in time or cutting the tail of the thread too short, loosen the screw and angle the blades downwards towards the extending knives. This will make for a cleaner cut. You can also see that there is a screw with a little washer on it. This screw acts as a track guide for the extending knife. If it is tight, it will jam. Also, on the very tip under our stationary blades, we can see that there is a black plate. This is the second guide for our extending knives. If these pieces are too tight, it would definitely cause it to jam. You would need to loosen those and move them away for it so it can move in and out and spring freely. Now turn the threader over and inspect the back as well. You can see that when you extend the knife, that there is a spring that goes around the lever system. Make sure that the spring is in properly. This way that when you extend it, you can have proper spring action on the way back. Now go to line it up in the machine. You can see that you have your lever link arm, and there is a hole on the rear side which needs to go into the post as well. So two spots need to line up, the rear and the very front of that link arm. Line it up properly and make sure that they are in. Once they are lined up, you will have to make sure that you give it a little push down. It should be flush when you put the screws in. If it does not sit in properly, it will of course jam. Once you have it lined up, put the screws back in to make sure that it is held in properly. Now that both are in, you can either clean your thread cutter or change it easily now.